Hey everyone, today we are going to be ranking my last 10 eyeshadow palettes that I've used and purchased. So if you want to see my thoughts on all of these palettes and which one is number one, just keep watching. At number 10, we have ColourPop Cashmere Forever, which is one of their more recent 5-pan purple eyeshadow palettes. It's very pretty, and the only reason why it's at the bottom is just because the other palettes have more to offer, to be honest. I am a sucker for purple eyeshadow, so I usually always buy them. I really like the mattes in this palette. I think they're really, really pretty. And this shimmer is just so unique. It's a messy shimmer, obviously. You can see it kind of gets everywhere, but it's really pretty. It's like this pinky purple sort of shimmer. It's really pretty and definitely my favorite part of the palette. At number 9, we have ColourPop High Society. This is another one of their 5-pan eyeshadow palettes. It was in the same collection as the palette prior. Again, this palette was only ranked lower because of the fact that there are only 5 shades and there's only so many looks you can do with 5-pan eyeshadow palettes, whereas the other palettes have a lot more to offer. That being said, this is still a stunning palette and my favorite out of the 2 that I own from this collection. I just am a sucker for minty shades, and that mint is really, really pretty. You'll see a pattern that I buy a lot of ColourPop. This is the So Very Lovely palette, and this is ranked at number 8. This is a palette that I wasn't too sure about when I saw it at first, but honestly, these shades just are my vibes. Like, this is my type of natural palette where you have like a coral, you have like a really like pastel purple, and then you have these beautiful metallics and like a rich dark purple. The reason why this palette is higher than the other 2 is just because of the fact that there are more eyeshadow look varieties that I can do. At number 7, we have ColourPop and Barbie Malibu Barbie palette. This palette is really, really pretty. I'm not typically one for natural palettes, so when I saw this, I was like, yes, these are my type of Barbie vibes. I do think they could have went with some more bright shimmers instead of all the natural shades, but I get it. Barbie's vibes are definitely more natural than bright and colorful for the most part, but this palette is really good. I really, really enjoy it. It makes me happy. It brings me joy, and I think that's what all eyeshadow palettes should be. The reason why it's higher than the other ColourPop palettes is just because more variety, and also I just like the color story a little bit. At number 6, we have the Lethal Cosmetics and Teresa Is Dead collaboration Lethal Is Dead palette, and the reason why this is at number 6 is just because I haven't had the Jeez, I cannot hold stuff today. This is literally just because I haven't had the opportunity to try this more. I've only done one look with it, but the one look I did, I loved. And this color story is so up my alley. I mean, you have like so many bright shades. There aren't any boring shades, so that makes me happy, and I love Teresa, so of course I love this palette. I am very excited to use this more, especially in the fucking I should not swear, in the October sort of vibes. This palette definitely gets me, so that is why it is at number 6. I love this palette, but again, I need to use it more for it to be higher up on my list, if that makes sense. At number 5, we have the ColourPop Powerpuff Girls palette. I was honestly shocked by how much I enjoyed this palette. I did a really fun makeup look, which I'm going to show you all the looks I did with these palettes, so you'll have already seen the other ones, but the look I did was so fun. I tried to use all the bright shades that I could. I really loved how it turned out. The shades worked very well. The formula was amazing, so that's why this is at number 5. Honestly, it would be higher if all the other palettes weren't amazing too, but this palette is just so stinking pretty. I cannot get over it. Like, I do think that they could have like gotten rid of one of the like natural shimmers, and I would have liked it even more. And that natural brown, like, I don't need that in my life, but the rest of it is just very, very beautiful, and I'm glad that this is at number 5. At number 4, we have Kaleidos Flower Punk, which is just it's a beautiful palette. Like, look at this. These are so my vibes. I love it so much. It just has such beautiful metallics. Aloe Cove is my life. I love it so, so much. But also, like, these shades here give me absolute life. I can't wait for the like fall months. These are my vibes for fall. But just overall, this palette is stunning. I mean, it has a lot. I can see a lot of different looks with this. Like, I could do a blue look, I could do like a blue and pink look. Like, it's got it all for me. And the packaging's really cute. I like that they did something a little bit different than they usually do. And yeah, this is one of my favorite palettes. At number 3, we have the Glamlight and Michaela palette. I don't think this is a surprise to everyone. This palette is stunning. My only gripe with it is, of course, the fact that you have so many natural shades. But that being said, the natural shades are very beautiful, and I get it. Most people do want natural shades with colorful shades, so I get it. I'm here for it. The colorful shades, though, are what sold me on this palette. And I mean, I love Michaela. She's such a sweetheart. So, of course, I wanted to support her and Glamlight. They're one of my favorite brands. So, I'm just happy with this palette. I can see myself doing so many looks. The metallics are beautiful. The mattes are beautiful. I'm just excited to use this more. And honestly, that's why it's at number 3. It's just so good. Honestly, I'm having a hard time deciding which of these two palettes are going to be 1 and 2. Like, I like them both equally, so keep that in mind that regardless, these two are basically equal for me. At number 2, we have the Midas Cosmetics and the Basic B Perception palette. Now, this again was very hard for me to decide which palette I wanted to be number 2 and which I wanted to be number 1. This palette honestly surprised me. I didn't think I would love it as much as I did. I saw the swatches the brand did and I wasn't really sold on it, but I got it 50% off, and my lord, this is the most beautiful palette ever. I did a really simple pink look, but the shade Evolve, I haven't seen a shade like that has worked as good as this one. It's just so pretty, and the look alone is what instantly made it like number 1 tier for me, which is why it's basically tied with the one that's number 1, because it's just so good, and I cannot wait to do so many looks with this palette. It's just so pretty, and I love the bright shades. I love that you do have like darker, more grungy shades as well. This is just one of those palettes that I'm gonna love for a long time. At number 1, we have the Serenity palette by Menagerie Cosmetics in collaboration with Annette's Makeup Corner. This, for one, the packaging is absolutely stunning. Like, I love the packaging that Menagerie Cosmetics always does. And then this is what, okay, if it could stay, that'd be great. This is what the palette looks like. Obviously colorful, so up my alley. This is just one of those palettes that I'm absolutely in love with. I think I've done 2 looks with it so far and I am hooked. It's just such a gorgeous palette, and considering it's number 1, like, that means a lot, considering I had to pay like $20 in customs for this palette. Like, it was insane, but it was worth it. It's such a beautiful palette. I love the purple tones, I love the orange, I love the mattes, I love the metallics. Menagerie Cosmetics has one of the best eyeshadow formulas out there, especially for an indie brand. They're just so stinking good. They're definitely one of my favorite brands, like tied, I think, for number 1, just because of how good the eyeshadows are. The look that I did with this palette that's my favorite is like this like pink and orange look I did. That one is absolutely gorgeous. That is my favorite look I've done with this palette. But yeah, that's why it's at number 1. It's just, it's a beautiful palette, and it's one of my favorites, like, of all the eyeshadow palettes I own now. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Let me know down below, out of all these palettes, which is your favorite. I'm really happy with all of these palettes, honestly. I don't really have any gripes with any of them, which can sometimes be rare. Usually there are palettes where I have a lot of issues, but all of these are very good, so I'm very happy. Again, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you have a beautiful day, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.